Okay. Coaching and mentoring business. All right. So we're seeing people are here for all sorts of various reasons. And state your reason, you'll see. Because the thing is, if you state your reasons, I may actually use you as an example. Make sales in the ICT industry. That's John right there. So if people that have businesses, so there may be some people that don't have businesses, and you're getting into business, which is 100% okay. That means you're going to get in correctly. All right. Better articulate the value that I have to offer and therefore make sales. All right. I think that was Rain, if I saw correctly, Rain or Roin, one of the two. Hairdressing, that's Chido. Okay. Understanding between sales and profits. Okay, amazing. I want to boost my business in baby wear. Again, there's no name. But somebody wants to boost their business in baby wear. Okay. All right. Amazing. How to market my business. That's been by Master Sales Slazers. Now, my question to you, everybody, is look, it's a very important question. That's the reason why we're interacting, because it gives us a journey towards what it is that we're going to achieve. To know how to do business profits, boost my business in events management, that's Alice. Want to boost my sales in motor insurance, that's Michelle. Now, the question is, why do you think that I am able to assist you with that? Right? Why do you think I'm able to assist you with that? How do you know that or our business even makes sales? Because you have all these desires, you have all these ambitions, and you believe that there is a certain level of information that you're going to gain here. But the question then is, what is the proof of that? Because you have never seen our accounting books. You've never seen our bank statements. That means that there is no way of you knowing that we actually make sales. All right, someone says you have wisdom, I always follow you. Okay, fair enough. Okay, you're a living testimony, but how do you know? That's the question. We trust you from your lectures. Your brand is popular. That's the trainer. Okay. What about, because there are people that are very popular, but very broke. Knowledge is power. Your impartation is powerful. Okay. All right. Partnering, Kids Corner. All right. The number of people, I think I missed that. The number of people who are present here says it all. Okay. Okay. But 150, that's like a tenth of our usual class. I think because the date was moved. But nonetheless, because you're the Liberty man, that's James. I once attended your English class and it helped a lot. You're living in freedom. Okay, I have two areas of interest: Kids Corner business, selling toys, and then the second one, partnering the Liberty Man at my workplace in our national event in 2026. Amazing. That's Sawaya right there. Okay, so this is a genuine question I'm asking you because it all goes back to perception. All right, I have people who pass through your teachings and are doing well in their business. That's Gladys. Okay, similar says, I hope I didn't miss a lot. So this is still introductory. Okay, you wouldn't have invited us if you were unable to teach that. So your zeal. Okay, that's Linda right there. I trust you. Okay, and you may wonder why I'm asking this question. It's important because if you are here because of a claim that we made, then that means that why are people not showing up because of claims that you are making? So all of this is very important, the things that I'm saying. Okay, I have confidence in you since day one. That's Limbai. Okay. So once again, I want to invite you to this specific class, to this public business class. When we say public business class, what it means is that it's not paid for. Okay? You have not paid for it, neither do we expect you to pay for it. Right. Now, for those that know, we have the character, the science, and the art of business. Tonight, we're going to mix the science and the art so that we're able to upskill you in your sales. Okay? Because for the first time this year, I've started earning by following your teachings. All right, so that's Millicent. So there are people that are actually starting to make money. God-given wisdom. That's Monica. Okay, it's the confidence you exude. Right. So everybody, look at it this way. Science, character, art of business. Now, I understand that some people don't understand what that means. Neither am I going to get into it in depth. But before we go too far, I want to focus a little bit on the character of business before I show you how to actually make sales. The reason why I always talk about the character of business is because it doesn't matter how many models you are given or your ability to speak, your artistry, or your ability to use social media and all of these things, if you don't have the character of business, you will still fail. I'm implementing what I've learned from you and it's working. That's Caroline. Very good. You will still fail. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not one of those people that will sell you pipe dreams. I'm not one of those people that will sell you fairy dust. I have to tell you as it is, because we have people that have ventured into business or ventured into anything that they ventured into. It was difficult for them. When I say difficult, they are challenges that they met. But when they go to the people, they show as if everything was perfect. So when the people then try to do what they did, they give up. Why? Because when they meet the first challenge, they feel like, but this person never met that challenge. So I have to give you the character of business before I give you the artistry and the science towards sales. It's very important. I'm here to present to you, everybody, that if you are weak, you will not succeed. It doesn't matter how many of my teachings you listen to, right? So if anything, listen to the part of the teaching that also strengthens you as a person. Okay? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. I don't say this to scare people, but then I say this to say, if business was just, the click of a few fingers, then everybody would be in it and everybody would be succeeding in it. So it's very important that you also gain the character of business. Let me give you an example. The Bible has the gifts of the Spirit, and then it has the fruit of the Spirit. The gifts of the Spirit being prophecy, gift of tongues, interpretation of tongues, gift of healing, working of miracles, discernment of spirits, faith. You have your word of knowledge, word of wisdom. That's the gifts of the Spirit. And then in the book of Romans, you have the gift of giving, the gift of exhortation, the gift of ministry of serving, the gift of teaching. All of those are spiritual gifts, right? But then you also have the fruit of the Spirit. Now you understand that the fruit of the Spirit is love, long suffering, etc. So the idea is to say, when we talk about the art, that is your gifting, that is how you articulate yourself to the world. But if you don't have the character of business, you will still fail. So it is the same as somebody that prophesies, speaks in tongues, and all of these things. But then the Bible then says that if you can do all of these things, but then you don't have love, it is useless. Same thing. So in the faculty of business, if you have the art and the science, but not the character, you will still fail. Okay, hope you're getting this. Now, having said that, everybody, you're looking at business as something that will generate money for you. That there's nothing wrong with looking at it that way, because that's the reality. It is true. But I want you to understand, everybody, that visions are built on the backbone of broken relationships. Okay? Visions are built on the backbone of broken relationships. I don't care how you may want to look at it. The reason why I say this is because some of the greatest challenges that you're going to meet on your entrepreneurial journey have got nothing to do with the technicalities of business. They've got everything to do with what the business is causing you, the predicament the business is causing you to be in. So when you're still growing your business, guess what? Whatever you're doing, people will treat it as a habit. Some people may even label you lazy. Like, I know there's just this thing that she likes doing. Yeah, she sells Inuka on the side. Right? He does this. I know he's just doing this. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll go to school next year. It will be heart-wrenching when you're putting your everything and the people that are supposed to support you don't see any value in what you're doing. That's number one. Then number two, when you actually then start to gain traction, those people, the biggest beneficiaries to your vision, are the people that will not lift up a single finger to help you. I hope you're getting this. Now, I know you're thinking, but what has this got to do with sales? That's why I told you. If you don't have the heart for it, then, just look for a job or stick to your job. It may not be as fulfilling life 100%, but I have to give you the full picture. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying business is a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. But then it's also not for weaklings, weak people that are affected and infected when anyone says anything. Are we getting this, everybody? Hope we're getting this. It's very important. So that's why I always say that if you're actually going to be one of my business students, I'm talking about in our courses and our classes and the like, or one of our clients, it's very important to me. I always put this canvas to say, are you serious? Because there is no point of offloading a lot of information to somebody who, when someone comments negatively on their hairstyle, They sleep in bed for 3 days because some of the things that you face are way bigger than that. Okay. And the reason why you face them is because you're able to handle them. The only person that says that you can't handle them, it's you. All right. So I'm here to present to you, everybody, that there is a time in my own business. We didn't start where we are. In my own business, where paying rent of $300, it was a tall order. The gifting was there, the talent was there. So I'm talking about the primitive years. I mean, the primitive not years because we're still in the primitive years, but the primitive time in our business, just getting into it, right? And that rent, I'm not talking about $5,000. I'm talking about like $300. It was something like it was a testimony. Wow, we've raised $300 to pay rent. It was something. I'm saying this to encourage you, to tell you that at that point in time, I hadn't perfected my models. We had the gifting, we had the information, we had the ability, the artistry, but my models were not perfected. My cash models, my sales models. And then because we impart business principles to people over the years, what we do is we play around with so many models and in different businesses so as to see if this model can turn into a science. What I mean by this is if the same inputs are put into different environments, right, different kinds of businesses within the same climate, we should get fairly the same output. When we're able to prove this, I then come and teach you something. So I never teach you something that I haven't proven without doubt. Okay? Until a time whereby, oh, so 300 is not anything anymore. Oh, 500 is not anything. Oh, 1,000 is, oh, 2,000. Why? What became better? Our models. Because we were willing to make the losses whilst perfecting models. Even up to today, we can actually suffer a hit in ourselves because I'm testing a new model. I perfect it, I teach it to people. They do it. Now they don't have to go through the losses. They just go to the wins. But it doesn't negate the fact that character is very important. Okay. I am settling here because I know people want to hear, okay, you make sales this way. You good people. It can be easy. The business part is not the difficult part. What the business requires you to be, that's the difficult part. All right. When I look at myself, and I'm not even saying I'm the standard, we have clients in Beyond Motivation that have businesses that make way more money than us, but then they just may not know how to unlock the next level, right? So it doesn't mean that we're the ones making the most money. That's not what we're saying. Okay. But then understand this, everybody. When I look at this, what I do, one thing that you'll see is that there is a time whereby a demand will be placed on your life. A demand will be placed on your resources, on the person who you are, and it will feel so overwhelming. But if you're able to just go across that bridge, believe me, it'll be much better. You may say, what do you mean? Look, here this class has, maybe close to 200 people, this class alone, and other classes are 500, 1,000, 200, 20, 50. We teach thousands upon thousands of people, and then we have clients, they're students, and then they're clients, and all of this mix. But guess what? When you are the one that is facing the public, they cease to see you as a person, and then they see you as a resource. Are you getting what I'm saying? It's important. They cease to see you as a person, they see you as a resource. So they don't understand that as I speak to you right now, people look at it and then they just think that, yeah, this person's life is just how to speak effectively, how to be profitable in business, mentorship class, whatnot, running a business. No, I also have a wife, I have kids, I have this, I have that, the same things that you guys have. But then guess what? When you have reached a certain level, people don't care. They simply care about taking from you. Now, you should come to a point whereby you're okay with it. That's what I'm saying. It may not make much sense to you now, depending on the stage that you're at. But for some people, you understand what I'm saying, parents included. You can actually reach a point in your life whereby your children, they just view you as a resource, not a person. And then obviously they need teaching so as to understand empathy and all these things. But I'm just giving you a picture to say, even when you have that 1,000 per month, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, some of the biggest challenges you will face are not the business itself. It is now when people view you as a resource and no longer a person. One day you'll come back to me saying, yeah, I understand what you were saying. Right now, it may seem like, I just want the money. And you should want it. But it comes with a whole lot of other things. All right. I thought it very important that I give you the character of business, and we always build on the character. Now let's talk sales, everybody. So tonight, the way that we're going to do it, and I know, do we have some students here who printed what I asked to be printed? So I sent my team to send you something. I know that some people don't have it or was never sent to you. Don't worry about it. But then do we have people that have it? And maybe you didn't get the chance to print it because the date was changed and all. I understand. But I just thought that it would be beneficial to you to be writing for those that have it. For those that don't have it, don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. Okay. So some people did print. Well done. So everybody, tonight we are talking sales. But the way that I'm going to teach you sales tonight is through examples in your business. That's how I want to do it. Now, we don't usually do this. We usually do this for corporates and for people that have actually paid in our courses. But I'm going to do this for you because I know that there is a group of people that I'm starting with in October. And I would want them to start at a level whereby we're already speaking a higher language. Why? Because we don't have much time to get into 2026. And we don't want 2026 to look like 2025. And I know for sure that at the end of the year, people are going to get excited, like 2026, new beginnings, new what. And if you're getting into 2026 with the same information that you came into 2025 with, then you're just going to be the same person, a little bit of excitement, and then the excitement wears down after a few days, right? But if you say that, okay, at this point in time, I'm setting up myself so that 2026 may actually be beautified, may actually be beautiful, that's exactly what we're doing here, all right? So even for those, I know that there's some people that are not a part of my classes, which is fine, but then for those that are, good for you, because now we're saying that, okay, let's set a stronger foundation for the rest of the year. Okay, now, having said that, everybody, now let's talk sales. Very important. Let us talk sales. Now, I was going to show you something, but I don't have money on me. Okay, I don't have any physical money on me. So, right, I'm going to treat this, when you look at this pen, please just treat it as if it's a $20 bill. Okay? Treat it as if it's a what? It's a $20 bill. It's not a pen. I just don't have money on me. So it'll be very wise of you to donate. Whilst we're in this class, start donating to my account. We'll see the details on the screen. Because clearly you've seen that I don't have money. So take this as a $20 note. Okay? And then I want you to take, what else do I have? I want you to take this. So this is a phone, but don't consider it to be a phone right now. So take this as a $20 bill and take this as a $20 bill. Understood? For those that have just joined and didn't hear what I said, I'll say it again. This is a $20 bill, not a pen. And this is a $20 bill, not a pen. All right. Now, my question to you, and I want you to answer in the comment section, is if I have a $20 bill and you have a $20 bill, is there any point or is there any value in us exchanging those $20 bills? So I give you my $20 bill, you give me your $20 bill. Is there any point in that transaction? Right, Donna says no, Proggy says no need. No, 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 absolutely no value. No, 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 no. Okay, amazing. So your answer is no. There is no point of me selling this, selling this $20 bill for this $20 bill. So we literally just exchanged $20 bills. And why? Obviously, your answer is because there is no value in that transaction. You are literally just exchanging the same thing. Okay? So remember, tonight, I'm going to be using your businesses as we do what we do. Okay? And I'm very happy that we've been able to do this session because if we hadn't had it tonight, it was not going to happen. Okay? But here we are. So there is no need of having that transaction. Now, my question then to you is, Let's say you have a car that is worth, okay? You have a car that is worth $20,000. All right? You have a car that is worth $20,000. The car is worth what? 20,000. And then you give that car to someone and someone gives you 20,000. Is there any value in that transaction? Yes or no? No value? No. No value? Yes. No. Yes. For those that are saying yes, let us know why. For those that are saying no, let us know why. Still no value. Dr. Robert says yes. Okay, no value. Yes, there's a time value of money in the transaction. Okay. Abigail, no. It's butter trade. That's Margaret. Yes, both sides benefited. Yes, there is from a card to cash. That's exchange of value. Depends. Might be in need of money. Okay. All right. So remember, you are the salesperson. So is there any value to the person that bought the car? So the person gives you 20,000. You give them a car that is worth 20,000. Is there any value to them in that transaction? Yes, because I can use the cash for some business, which the car couldn't. Okay, yes, because you're now liquid. All right, so the business person, you now have 20,000. What about the person who now has the car? Yes, they can use the car. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, fine. So this is where our teaching starts, everybody. Junior says it's the same as the example of exchange of $20. Now, I agree with Junior. It is the same thing, and I'll explain before you say, no, 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 because you can use a card to do this. I get it, okay? I'll explain. So if I have $20, you have $20, and we exchange, you literally said that there is no what? There is no value in that transaction. And if I have a car that is worth 20,000 and this person has 20,000 in cash and we exchange, I'm here to present to you that there is no value in that transaction. I'll say it again. If I have a car that is worth $20,000 and you have $20,000 and we exchange, there is no value in that transaction because you literally say the car is worth 20,000 and the money is 20,000. There is no value in that transaction. Now, you may say no because a car you can go here, you can go now. I want to understand everybody. Number one, what do you use that car for? The person that's buying the car, what are they going to use that car for? Like some of the things that you would assume they would use a car for. Let's list these things down. So if you see me looking down, I'm simply writing in my notepad the answers that you'll be giving so that I can come back to them. All right. So they can use it for hire. All right. What else? So they just bought a car from you. In-drive services. People love business. What about if this person just wants to go to work or church? All right. Go to work. Okay. Private use. All right. So maybe go to church and the like. They can use it to sell. Okay. Ease of movement. All right. So now it's just much easier to go where they need to go. All right. They may use it for luxury. All right. So you have a whole lot of answers from hire to taxi to work, church, sell, just traveling well and the like. Okay. Welcome says they may sell it for 25,000, so they may sell it for a profit. Okay. Amazing. Right. So this is the fundamental lesson, the foundational lesson that I teach people in sales. If you have a car that is worth 20,000 and you are given 20,000, there is no value in that transaction. The mistake that you make is you think the car is worth 20,000. The car is not worth 20,000. Let me give you an example. If you're going to buy a share on the stock exchange, so you have $1 and you buy a share in Facebook or you buy a share in Econet Wireless for $1, and then you're given a share that's worth $1. The only reason why you bought that share is because you believe it will rise in value. Otherwise, what is the point? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. If you buy a share on the stock exchange for $1 Generally speaking, you believe that that share is going to rise. Otherwise, you might as well have kept your dollar. Okay. What that tells you is that the cost of the share is $1. The worth of the share is not $1. So the mistake that many people make is that they communicate the cost of their product, whereas they're supposed to communicate the worth of their product. So this car does may cost 20,000, but it is worth what it can produce if it's hired out. It is worth the convenience of getting to work on time. It is worth the convenience of getting to church on time. It is worth the status that you get in the community when you drive instead of using public transport. So a transaction is only valuable when the worth is above the cost. And that is what you should assure in your messaging as a business person. I hope you're getting it. No, this car costs 20,000. Do you have it? No, because if you give me 20,000, I give you 20,000. Then what was the point? That's a useless transaction, and that's why people don't buy from you, because they're simply converting their cash into something that is worth the exact same thing. What you're not realizing is that the cost of your product is not the worth, and the worth should always be northwards of the cost. Are we getting this, everybody? So if you sell, let me know what you sell in the comment section. Remember, tonight I said I want to use your businesses. Let me know what you sell. I'll just choose whatever I see. I'll just choose the first thing that I see. Inuka products, right? Inuka products now, I assume that they are like beauty products and they have, facial and, stuff like that and lotions and stuff. If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I understand. Right. So now let's say that that lotion costs $2 as an example. The lotion costs $2. The problem is you tell me that, oh, how much is your lotion? Oh, yeah, this lotion is $2. You can give me $2. But why would I make that transaction if I'm giving you $2 and getting something that is worth $2? No, the cost is $2. But what is the worth? The worth could literally be you living happily ever after with a husband that you're failing to get right now because of the way that you look. But guess what? When that Inuka has sorted out all of these blemishes on your skin, oh my goodness, you get the husband of your dreams. The husband that then buys you a Range Rover. So guess what? You bought this for $2, but you just got a Range Rover. I'm taking this to the extremity so that you see that in your messaging, you don't talk about the cost, you talk about the worth. And right now, if your cost equals your worth, then you're not going to make sales. You will struggle with sales. Okay. So when it says network marketing of healthcare products, home care, skincare products, if we're going to take the healthcare part, what we are saying is that, yeah, this tube or whatever it is, some kind of medication that it is, yeah, it costs $20. But guess what? Its worth is you not having to have an operation 10 years from now because you're struggling with this disease. So what we are saying is, I am giving you 20,000 US dollars, but you are only paying me 20. That is when the transaction is worth it. That's why we say worth it. We don't use the term cost it. Is it worth it? And it's only worth it if I am getting more than I'm giving you. So on the stock exchange, I buy the share for $1 because I believe that that share will be worth $60. But if I can't see every single purchase, you need to see it as an investment. If somebody is giving you their money, you should be able to articulate very well how they're getting a return on their money, not how they're getting something that is worth the same thing. Are we understanding this, everybody? Hope you're getting it. So the first thing that you need to determine, and you start to list it, forget the cost, put the cost aside. Say, what is the worth of my product? And when you figure out the worth, you can even monetize it, right? To say, oh, the worth of the car is it could potentially be sold for 25,000. That means that that person, they gave you 20, but you gave them 25. You didn't give them 20. The worth is, oh, I won't be late to work anymore. Therefore, I could potentially get a promotion that I'm never going to get if I keep on being late. And therefore, anything that I get out of that promotion until the day that I retire, it is the worth of the car. It's not the cost. So the way that I measure it is to say, that's why I don't believe, like I'm talking personally, I don't believe it makes sense for anyone not to go, not to do a beyond motivation or business class. For me, it doesn't make sense because let's just say you pay 1,000, which you don't. But if you pay 1,000 and I'm able to get you to have the information to make 1,000 a month, which I taught you that without you even paying me anything, so it's just an example, then definitely I'm going to pay the 1,000 because the worth of my product is way higher than 1,000. 12,000 times the number of years that you're ever going to live. But you paid 1,000. And it's not even 1,000, it's just an example that I'm giving you. So when I speak worth. I don't speak cost. Because when I speak worth, you see that it's worth it. But when you speak cost, nobody wants to incur a cost. Everybody wants to incur something that is worth their while. That's why you say worth your while, not cost your while. Worth it, not cost it. Nobody wants to incur a cost. Everybody wants to receive worth. So you then list down, so what is the actual worth of my product? When you figure out the worth, that's when you figure out the value that you're actually providing. So the value is not the car. Okay? Newsflash, the value is not the car. The value is not the Inuka product. I'll give you an example. Right now, if I could inject business knowledge into you using what? Using an injection, you wouldn't be here as long as it doesn't have side effects. Because why waste your time? I can just inject it into you. That means that the value is not me being in front of you. It's everything that you're going to get out of it. But if I emphasize that, yeah, I'm going to be with you for an hour, 30 minutes. If you book me for an hour, this is that. You don't care about an hour. You just care about the prosperity of you and your family. That's what you care about. So people spend too long talking about the cost, whereas they're supposed to talk about the worth. Why would you care? Now that I've spoken to you, like, oh, yeah, there's value here. And then if I then start saying, yeah, I'll be with you for 6 hours, you're like, wow, 6 hours of value. But then if my value proposition is saying, yeah, I'm going to come to you, I charge $22 per hour, and this is, I don't care about that because that's cost. No one wants to incur a cost. They want to do something that is worth it, not cost it. So now you then say, oh, the cost of my product is $10 per unit, or the cost of my product is $10 per hour, of my service is $10 per hour. But what is the worth? And I'm here to present to you that if your worth is not even 10 times higher than your cost, you're going to struggle with sales. Look, the Bible says there is nothing new under the sun. Don't kid yourself. There are too many of you out there. Right? There are too many of you out there. So if you really think that people are going to buy your jeans because they cost $15, no, that's not the idea. All right? Baseline, are we okay? So you're writing down, remember I taught you how to build a business that sells any product or service. For those that were not there, fair enough, that's fine. But then what we are then saying is, okay, now I have the product or the service. Now let me understand what the worth is, because when you understand what the worth is, your messaging also changes. Unless you ask me, have you ever heard me talking about the cost of our products, of our services? Unless you ask me. Have you ever heard me just saying, yeah, I want you to join this course. It's $5,000. It's 200. Yeah, I want you to. Have you ever heard me saying that? No. Because believe me, when something becomes worth it, people are willing to jump hurdles so as to go through the cost. So the cost is simply the inconvenience. It is the seed to the harvest, which is the worth. Okay? Meaning, say the value is more important than cost. Yes, so the value is the worth. And it's only a valuable transaction when the value or the worth is higher than the cost. So the gap between cost and worth. If cost is here and worth is here, what's in between, that's what we call value. If cost is here, worth is here, what's in between, that's what we call value. You get it? Someone says chips or salsa, for example. Now, at the end of the day, you then say, all right, fine. Everybody, not everybody, a lot of people are selling chips, a lot of people are selling salsa. So am I really going to win by saying that mine is the cheapest? Probably not. Am I really going to win by saying mine is the nicest? Probably not. Right? So probably in that, depending on where you sell it, you can actually start to talk about how this is a place where many people foster relationships. Start to talk about how a lot of business people come here. And just by coming around your sadza, you'll see that you gain connections, meet people. Now the worth has become much higher. Stop talking about the sadza because you don't sell the best sadza in the city. Don't lie to yourself. I'm not saying you do. I'm simply saying a lot of people lie to themselves. So the worth of your sadza has got nothing to do with the sadza that's coming into your tummy. It's got everything to do with, you know what, a lot of business people come. And guess what? Business people will actually start to come if they haven't started coming because they've just heard that there are other business people. So the worth becomes the connection. You know, people gather around come around 2 p.m. You see a lot of people that are in business that you can actually leave with a tender. Stop talking about the sadza because believe people have sadza at their house. There's probably sadza that's being sold next to their workplace. There's probably so you cannot talk about what? You cannot talk about your cost. Oh, yes, our sadza is $1. Guess what? There's another person that will come with sadza for 50 cents. And then what do? Are we understanding this? So don't, that's why I always tell you that your business is not your product. Your business is your imagination. All right. Now, even the things that I'm telling you right now, these are things that you're supposed to pay for. You're supposed to pay for. But you are my people. Let's see what we can do. So the person that I just gave that SADS idea, I told you, the payment details are going to be on the screen. All right. So the idea, everybody, is to say that the worth, the gap between the worth and the cost is the value. So imagine if you're saying that the value of or the cost is $2. And guess what? What I'm providing to you, SADS, which you have at home, which you can cook on your own, which other people are selling, then guess what? The gap between your worth and your cost will be very tiny, which means you don't have any value proposition. There's no value that you're actually providing. All right. Are we learning, everybody? You know, I have one thing against you people. Not all of you, but some of you. You're not hungry enough. All right. You're definitely not hungry enough. Because some people, you wait for some free class that may never come to say, yeah, now let me gain something in business. Why? Like, why do you do this to yourself? If I was me, if I was not me, okay, if I was not me, I would be listening to me right now. Now you may say, how can he say that? I'm just telling the truth. If I was not me, I would be listening to me right now. I just wish that you use what I'm telling you. Even if you don't even have to mention my name or ever give me credit. But I mean, some people's children, I'm not saying yours, but some people's children wallow in poverty just because their parent failed to just get information. And what I've already given you in these few seconds, what I've already given you, you can't get it in any institution like, okay, I'm getting a degree and so and so. Information is important. Right. Agnes says, I sell lady suits, so I can say level up your confidence with our power suits. Not exactly, because that's just a catchphrase. It's not really value. I hope you're getting this, everybody. Because we can't just have a catchphrase. We need to have actual value. That's the idea. So don't think, everybody, we're creating a perception of value, not just a perception of value, but we actually need to have intrinsic value. So a catchphrase is not enough. We actually need to create value, not just present value, because people can tell when something is a catchphrase and when something actually has value. Hope you're getting this. So let me give you an example. So let's just say, so Agnes sells suits. Now, I don't know if she has a shop or not. Let's assume she has a shop. Okay. Now, guess what? Everybody is selling suits and all of these things and whatnot and whatnot. And, things are happening out there. People are selling suits. She's not the only one selling suits. So guess what? She has this shop, and I can bet you my bottom dollar that not every single square meter in her shop is occupied. So all she needs to do at the corner of her shop is to buy like a curtain, a backdrop, not expensive. Just hang it from the ceiling. It comes down like this. It's now a backdrop. And guess what? What you do is just invest in a camera, and you don't even have to hire someone. Just learn photography. Like very simple. Just go on YouTube. And now you don't only sell suits, but then now you actually say to people, you know what? There are a lot of people out there that you don't have professional pictures. You want to put a picture on LinkedIn. You want potential clients to see, professional pictures. You have business pages. You have all of these things. You have social media. You have all of these things, but then you're just not professional. But why buy a suit for $300 just so that you can then go for a photo shoot somewhere? No. So the service that we provide is we actually give you an opportunity. There are select suits that you can take. Right? You wear it, you go into our corner booth, we take a photo of you, and you only pay $5 than buying a suit for $150. So now people are coming for the photo shoot. But guess what? The day that they're actually going to want to buy a suit, guess who they're going to come to? To you. Right? So if we just say level up your confidence with our power suits, that's a catchphrase. But guess what? When I actually have a picture and I'm like this, wearing your suit, looking nice on LinkedIn, I will never forget you, knowing that I didn't actually have to buy that suit. So that's the problem that we have with a lot of business people, is that they don't actually provide value. They just promise people value after they've paid. So they're like, you know what? After you've won the suit, you just have confidence. No, let me feel the confidence. Let me actually experience value. Now your value is way beyond your worth is way beyond your cost. And the difference there, that's the value. The things that I'm giving you right now are literal things that if I wanted to do that business, I could do it tomorrow. I just don't have the time. Because people may then ask, well, why don't you do it? I can't do 150,000 businesses. But if I'm going to do just the thing that I've told you there, market it right, put it on social media and do what we do, because we know the tricks of the trade, right? Would succeed in that business. Would definitely succeed in that business. Your business is not your product, everybody. Your business is your imagination. All right. Okay. Now people are just posting their businesses in the comment section. I told you, people don't see you as a person. They see you as a resource. Like, give me. What about thank you for what you just gave us? Because remember, even if I answer another person's question, you're still benefiting because you're understanding, oh, so this is how it works. But it's okay. It's okay. Are we learning, everybody? Oh, remember we talked about the character of business. So it's one thing, the Bible says in the book of James 1:22, but be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So what that means is don't just be excited by my eloquence and my ability to give you information at the click of a finger. Yes, that's nice. And we thank God for that ability and for that grace. But what we're saying is now you go and do it. Okay? Comfortable. Can we move on as we continue to build? So what I was giving you was just foundational, right? Although we could actually end the session here and it would still have been a very good session. Okay. Faith direction is dead. That's it. That's the book of James. That's the book of James. So I'm trying to see, I want to bring up on the screen what some of you I had asked you to print, because on this one, I'm going to give you a model that you can actually use. For those that don't have this printed, just write in your notes. This is just for your benefit. So I created this for you. And everybody here, did you receive the $1,000 model that I created? Not everybody, but those that attended the last class. Did you receive that? Okay, amazing. So the people here are not thankful. No one even thanks me. The people like, just give us more. But thank you for doing this for us. I'm not going to give you anything else anymore. You unthankful generation. Okay, I literally created the model for you, but anyway. Right, so everybody can see the screen, right? Everybody can see the screen? Okay, amazing. Right, so this here is a guideline that I want you to use to maximize your profits through selling. Okay, and I kid you not, I kid you not. These are things that we literally get into companies, I mean, our corporate clients with, and we restructure their business. I think some of you would know that we have a product called Redesign Your Business for the Highest Profits, right? This is literally some of the things that we give them as we redesign their business. Now, the question then is, so why am I giving it to you? There are many reasons, right? There are many reasons. But one of those reasons, amongst the others, which you understand, but one of those reasons is I don't believe in giving false value. So if I'm going to give you something, I just give it to you. Let me tell you this. Let me give you this example, everybody, as we get into this. Do you know that I can give the same thing to two people, one person that hasn't paid and one person that has paid? The only difference is that the person who has paid for it is likely going to succeed from it more than the person that has not paid. Why? Because the Bible says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So if somebody pays $5,000 for what we're just about to do here, believe me, that person is going to work the living daylights out of it. Whilst another person, right now, we say it free. There are people that are not here because they feel like, it doesn't matter. So the difference between someone who pays and someone who doesn't pay, the real difference is not the money that comes into our pocket. The real difference is how serious the person is and how much they're actually going to implement the things that I give them. So I don't give you little value because you have not paid. I just give it to you. But the truth is, I would be lying to you if I said everyone here is actually going to implement the things that I'm going to give them. Although we do have, if this session is actually just for 3 people, then let it be. Those 3 people, their world has just been changed. Okay, so everybody here, you see number 1 where it says product. So that's product or service. Okay, remember we said when we talked about $1,000, and $1,000, that's just baseline foundational. There's no reason why anyone should not make that a month. That's just like introductory level. But we said it can be any product or any service. Why? Because when you simply use the structure that I taught last time, I mean, by now you know that anything can basically cut it, right? Now the question then is, okay, fine. What is the value? The value is the difference between the worth and the what? And the cost. Agreed? The value is the difference between the worth and the cost. But having value is not enough. There is then something that you call an offer. Because it doesn't matter how much value you walk around with. And remember, this is not marketing, everybody. Marketing and advertising are very different from sales. So that you understand that. I'm just letting you know. Okay. So today we're talking about what? Sales, not marketing. Okay. Now, you can walk around with so much value. Oh my goodness. You can be dripping value, drowning in value yourself. But it doesn't mean people are just going to take that value. No, they only take it when you offer it to them. Okay? Let me explain to you something that you may not necessarily like. Now, I believe a lot of us went to school, and there is, there was a benefit in doing that, but then I also think that there was a lot that was lost as well, simply because of the conventional educational system that we have all around the world, which has a lot of flaws. Now, one of them is, remember, we talk about worth and cost. School probably cost you anything between 30,000 and 50,000 US dollars for those that went to non-expensive schools. I'm talking about from the time that you started your nursery all the way to the time that you ended either your high school or your university or your master's or your PhD, depending on whatever school level you went up to, you probably paid about $30,000, $50,000 if you were on the lower end of fees. Right? So that was the cost. Now the question is, what is the worth? Because for most people, getting into the job market after years of not finding a job, and then finally you find a job that doesn't really pay much, it will take you maybe about 10 to 20 years just to recover the amount that you spent at school from your salary. And you understand what I'm saying? So you then see that the value proposition of school is not very strong. But the reason why people still go to school is because it is offered. So there is something called an offer. So what we're saying is those that go to school, they don't go to school necessarily because the value is strong, but it's because the offer is strong. How is the offer strong? They show you a detrimental picture of someone who does not go to school. And they say, you don't go to school, society will mock you, you won't know anything, you'll be a dunderhead, you won't get a job, you'll probably die in poverty. That's the offer. Although the value is very little. Am I saying don't go to school? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, from a monetary perspective, for most people, a lot of people, they don't actually ever earn the money that they used at school. Yet, the primary reason why you're being told to go to school is so that you get a job, so that you have money. Yet, the money that you spend to go to school is more than the money that you then get from the job. For most people. All right? Believe me, I'm not saying school is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just showing you from a business perspective. So now they walk around with a greater offer. Okay, I think someone is writing on the screen, so do watch out. So their offer is strong. Now imagine if you have strong value and a strong offer. Now, what is an offer? That's the question. An offer is your presentation for someone to take your value in exchange for money. Okay? An offer is your presentation of your value. Because having intrinsic value, when I say intrinsic value, value that you know and value that the world perceives, that's two different things. So, for example, a lot of you at the beginning of this class, I asked you, why do you think I'm able to help you in sales? And you said, because we saw this, because we saw that, because we saw that. That's what we call perceived value. What I mean by that is you perceive that our value is high. You don't actually have the tangible proof of it, but you perceive that. So, what we're saying is, when it comes to an offer, it is now me presenting my value to you, offering you to partake of my value in exchange for cash. And again, obviously, primarily, an offer is made strong when the value is also strong. Okay, naturally, if the value is strong, if the gap between the worth and the cost is big, then the offer becomes easier. It becomes harder when there's not much value. But even if you have so much value and your offer is bad, then you're still in trouble. Okay, are we together so far? Are we together? Okay. So obviously, I'm going to teach you how to make offers. I can't teach you everything tonight. I'll just do the best that I can so that you have a baseline understanding. Okay? So now, remember, in your offer, whatever that offer is, okay? Whatever that offer is, however so you offer that I haven't taught you yet, someone can either say yes, or they say what? Or they say no. So our question is, how do we increase the chances of someone saying yes? And if they say no, what do we do? Now you're getting it. Obviously, if your offer is stronger, you get it. You have higher chances, not you get it. You have higher chances of getting a yes. Okay? But there is also the possibility of getting a no. So now the question is, how do I increase my chances of getting a yes? You've got it, everybody? Right. So now, let's come back here, and then we'll go back there. Write whatever you want to write on your sheet as we continue to build. Okay. Now, a lot of people, this is how their businesses operate. So there's some people that are talking about coaching and retail and real estate and okay. Now, I want you to see this picture, everybody. See this picture. You have a house, and this house has a big gate in front of it. Okay, so this house has a big gate in front of it. So you have like a lovely house, mansion, everything, swimming pool, basketball court, tennis court, all the things that you could ever dream for or want in a house. So this is what you have. That's your personal residence. But in front of the house, you have this big gate and this big wall. So that means that the people in the road cannot see your house. So to them, it's just another house with a big wall and a big gate. They can't see what's inside. Now imagine you standing by the gate. So you're standing by the gate, you've opened the gate just a little bit so they can't see behind you, but you've opened the gate a little bit and you're saying, people, guys, the things that are in here, amazing. $10 if you want to enter. I'm telling you, you will have fun. You will enjoy. I'm telling you, you enjoy. Just give me $10, you enter. That's how most of you do business. You give a promise of value. So you say, pay me because of the promise of value that I've given you. And then you wonder why you don't make the sales that you made. I don't have any proof that behind you there's this mansion and there's all I can see is this big gate. So for most of you, the value of your business is only known by the few people who actually agreed to buy. I hope you get the value of your business is only seen by the few people that are already in the court playing tennis inside your house. And then everyone else, you're saying, yeah, give me money, then come in. I hope you're getting this. Give me money, then what? Then come in. Then you think that value proposition or people experiencing your values just for some businesses and not other businesses. That's where you miss it. So it's the same thing as someone saying, buy this car and then give me the money, then I'll give you the car. No. What did the company say? They say, I'll give you a test drive. Now you're building your offer. This is what we call building an offer. So their offer is, no, if you don't like the car, fine. But here's a test drive. How many people here have ever bought an application or subscribed to an application or subscribed to a certain website? It could be Netflix, it could be Amazon, or it could be an application that's on your phone or the like. And what do they say? They say 7-day free trial, 21-day free trial. And a lot of people forget to cancel and then they're charged. But have you ever done something like that whereby, or even if you didn't do it, you saw that, oh, this app is a free trial. Then you actually take the free trial and then you cancel because you just wanted to use the application, you don't actually pay, right? So what do? In their offer, they're saying, use it. If you don't like it, leave it. So what they're doing is they're opening that gate wide open so that everybody sees the tennis court, basketball court, everything. And they're saying, we are offering this to you. If you like it, let's roll. If you don't, instead of saying this app, this is the best app in the world. I'm telling you, you use it, you enjoy it. This app will solve your problems. Give me money. Right? Look, it doesn't matter what God has given me and the grace that He's given me. I don't care if someone has paid me or has not paid me. I am providing value. I don't care. Because the Bible says that some of you entertained angels unawares. So if I look and I say, Robert hasn't paid me, let me just slouch in my chair. Yeah, so business, everybody is the exchange of goods and services. And, because I'm like, she didn't pay, so let me not really give her much. I could be entertaining angels unawares and then fail to host angels. And then I wonder why my message is never delivered to me. Are you getting it? So the idea is in your offer, you then say to yourself, what is it? So how do I build my offer? So let's go back to our sheet. Remember, we want to build an offer that is difficult for people to say no, though some people will say no. It doesn't mean everybody magically says yes. Okay? But we want to build an offer where people are likely to say yes. I don't. You know, when you've taught it and you feel like, I think it's enough. Uh, don't you think it's enough? I think I've given enough. Something is telling me in my spirit. Okay. So let me tell you this, everybody, as we continue to build our offer. The Bible says, and it says in the book of Thessalonians, it says, encourage one another, build each other up. So encouragement is not bad. Motivation is not bad. But it says build each other up. That means that I should motivate you to perform a principle that I've already given you. Because if it says build each other up, that means there's already a foundation. So a lot of people, the mistake that you make is that you just listen to people that are motivating you, but they don't give you the principle. I should say, oh, so this is how you drive. And then I say, I'm encouraging you to drive. I shouldn't just say you can do it, you can make it. Make it how? So encourage one another, build each other up. I encourage you to do something on a foundation that is already there because you only build on a foundation. Okay? So this is real things. It's not some kind of let's motivate each other here and just tell each other you can make it. Yeah, you can, but you can also fail to make it if you don't have the right principles. Okay? So now your offer, you then say, so now I want you to think. So whatever your product or your service is, you can put it down. And for those that didn't print, you can just kind of design this in your own book. All right. So now you're then saying, fine, how do I structure my offer in a way that increases the chances of someone saying yes? And then you then say, the first thing that I need to understand is that my offer should not be exclusive, or rather, I shouldn't promise something that someone has not experienced. But rather, they should experience it in one shape, form, or the other. And then we then say, okay, fine. If you want to continue to experience it, or if you want to experience it at a deeper level or higher level, then guess what? This is how we roll. So the problem is a lot of you, you're like, you are, imagine you're at church and you ask for offering at the door. No, allow the people to come in for free, preach the word, change their hearts, let the vision be soaked in their spirits, and then they will want to give because they want to be a part of driving that vision forth. But if you say you only come into the church if you've given an offering, then you've made a mistake. That's why I always say to people that church is not free. Church is only free to the foolish. Because you can't possibly tell me that you're listening to sound coming out of speakers that other people bought while you're sitting on a chair that another person bought in a hole that other people bought or rented, and then you feel no obligation whatsoever to also contribute to the next person sitting on a chair, another soul sitting on a chair, hearing the word that you also heard for free. So church is not free. It's only free to the foolish. Okay? So the idea is to say you don't ask for offering at the door. Allow people to come in. All right? So now you are then saying that, oh, in my offer, I'm building a component that allows people to experience. So I want you to write down the word experience the value. Okay? That's why Jesus says that you may not believe in me, but believe in the works thereof. Because the works were the value. Yeah, you may not believe in me, but guess what? The works are there. So what you're saying is allow people to experience the value. The Bible says Jesus met the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman at the well. And he prophesied to her, talked about her husbands and all of that. And then she went into the city And she said to people, come and see a man who has told me everything about my life. Right? Now you may say, what are you saying exactly? Understand that the Samaritan woman was not a Jew. She was not a Jew, but he provided value to her so that the word could actually start to be heard by the Gentiles, so that later on, when the Apostle Paul then comes in, the gospel has already moved into what? Into the world of the Gentiles. So he didn't wait for her to be a Jew if there's any way of becoming a Jew. He prophesied to her. He gave her the works. That's why he says, believe in the works thereof. But you only want to continue selling to Jews. What I mean is, you only want to give people something that have already given you money. So who would then make noise of who you are? Who will speak of your Inuka products? Who will speak of your car sale if you only have 10 people that you are, and you say, no, give me the money, then I give you the car. But somebody can actually go to another person and say, no, I didn't end up buying the car, but I test drove it. And believe me, those cars are quality. So that person may not actually be your client, but at least he has something to go and testify. That woman didn't turn into a Jew. But guess what? She was able to go and testify of the works. All right? So right now I'm speaking to whatever number of people that I'm speaking to. You may never, ever join our programs, but guess what? You've just known about me. And you will tell someone else. So what the Samaritan woman was able to do, she evangelized more than the disciples that walked with Jesus every single day. Oh, yes. So now we're saying that the idea is to make people experience value. And for those people that are starting in October, please, I need you to listen so that we speak the same language, okay? Right. So he allowed people to experience the value, and that's what your offer should have an ability for people to experience the value. Okay, that's number one. All right. Number two, your offer should be able to identify a person's pain. Okay, it should be able to identify a person's pain, not your pay. Okay, you should be able to identify a person's what? Pain, not your pay. What I mean by this is, if I resonate with you, I'm identifying your pain. All right? Belinda says, like me, I've shared a lot about you. You see? Example right there. I've shared a lot about you, and we're patiently waiting for you in Botswana. And then people say, how do you gain international recognition? You think you're going to gain international recognition when you're talking to your cousins in your house? Oh. People, let's not play around, okay? Like let's let's not joke around. We just overcomplicate things, to be honest. We really overcomplicate things. Okay? So now you should be able to identify a person's pain, not your pay. So what I mean by this is, you see, when Jesus was speaking to the Samaritan woman, he talked about the thing that matters to her. He didn't talk about, no, you haven't been attending the synagogue, you haven't been doing, no, he didn't talk about that. He said, where's your husband? And she says, oh, you know what, I have no husband. And then he says, you tell the truth. Because you've actually had 5 husbands, and the one that you have right now is not even your husband. He identified her pain, not his pay. And you may say, what is his pay? His pay is saving the world. Right? But that's not the focus. The focus is her pain point. So if you're not able to understand my pain point, you will focus on your pay point. You will focus on, okay, so this is $10, right? Or this is $20, or this is. But if I understand why you get your car washed at a car wash instead of washing it at home, then I'm able to speak to your pain point. Because for some people, they don't have water at their house. But for some people, they do have water, but they don't have time. For some people, they do have time and they do have water. But then guess what? Every time they try and, wash the car, they then realize that, my place is really small. It's really difficult just to navigate and put it into a nice place, right? So I need to understand. So, okay, what's your routine? Like, how do you wash your car? What do you do exactly? Oh, on Saturdays I have, but sometimes I forget. Sometimes, you know what? At the end of the day, you have to look presentable. I mean, and be, a person dressed the way that you're dressed. At the end of the day, I understand that you want to come out of a car that is actually shining the way that you are shining, right? But it's the time that you don't have. So if you don't have time, what if we come to you? Every single Saturday, we come and wash your car. You only pay once a month, and you just know that my car is catered for. You don't even have to think of that. So I'm speaking to your pain point. I'm not speaking to my pay point. So if you don't understand the market's pain, okay, now offer identifies a person's what. So I'm saying in building your offer, you identify the person's pain, not your pay. When I say your pay is what you are getting out of the transaction. Right? So if I'm going to offer you, let's say, our how to speak effectively class or our confidence class, I'm not going to say, okay, fine, everybody, you know what, you have to be confident like me. Be confident. Confidence is important. No, I need to understand your pain. What is your pain? Your pain is when you try and present at work, no one listens to you. Your pain is, you know what, you don't even present because you don't have the confidence to speak. Your pain is, I remember when I was in high school and people laughed at me when I started to speak. Your pain is when I try and I have great ideas, but I just don't have the English. So I identify my offer is built around your pain, not my pay. So for that person selling cars, or for that person selling cars, for that person selling real estate, what is the person's pain? And it may not just be one person, but then you can identify that in a certain demographic. The general pain is this. Okay? So your offer has to focus on the pain, not the pay. Are we getting this, everybody? So remember, someone is experiencing your value. That's number one. But number two, the offer focuses on the pain, not the pay. That is the reason why I always say, if your business mantra is please buy my product to support me, then please close your business. Why? Because you are not, if you open a business, you don't have a disability, right? Opening a business, you can't put yourself into a wheelchair and then ask us to push you. Stand up, get out of the business. No one forced you to. So you can't open a business and then say, support me. No, close the business so that I don't have to support you. Because if you're going to treat your business like a disability when you are well able to walk, then just get out of the wheelchair and walk. Right? So anyone that says support me is focusing on their pay, not the people's pain. Why should I support you? You open your business to support me, not for me to support you. Right? And you may feel like, oh, but I'm actually making some sales when I say support me. Yeah, but guess what? You're losing credibility. The people buy once so as to support you, but guess what? That's what you call a sympathy sale. They're not going to buy again. So I can't say, support us, guys, just join our programs. What? Or come to my church, support us as a church. No, the church opens to support the people, not for the people to support the church. I'm the one carrying the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. You come and receive that good news. So please, everybody, for those that are my students, please, if you have that mentality right now, just take it out of you. Support me, support me. And you see people will avoid you because they know every time you meet them, that is your story. But when you hear me speak, when I open my mouth, you're always thinking, oh, let me listen to what he has to say because I want to know what he has for me today. You're not thinking, oh, what does he want to take away from me today? No, you're thinking, let me be there because I want to know what he has for me today, not what he wants to take away from me. Right? And these things, everybody, these are not like magic switches that you just switch on. When you start to do the right things, they compound. What that means is that's how you build a business over time. Okay? That's how you build a business over time. So be willing to have patience while you're doing the right thing. Because whether you're doing the wrong thing or the right thing, the time will pass anyway. So you might as well pass while you're doing the right thing. Okay. All right, experience the value. Okay. I hope we're learning, everybody. I hope we are learning. All right. Shall we move on? Shall we move on? Okay. Post your businesses in the comment section again so that I choose another one. Inuka keeps coming back. All right. Catering, bridal, solar products, solar business, bottled water. All right. Yoga classes and B&B accommodation, catering, auction. You know, the problem is when you choose one business, now people get disappointed. Why didn't you choose mine? Digital wellness. Okay. What is digital wellness? Wellness. Educate me. What is that exactly? It's what I think it is, but I could be wrong. Carpentry, automotive, broiler chickens. Okay. Digital balance, online and offline balance. Do you mean as a person? Do you mean as a person? Give me more flesh there. What do you mean online and offline balance? Do you mean as a person? The time that you spend online and how you use digital resources well and the time that you spend offline? Is that what you mean? Private chef, selling water, selling second-hand tools, market gardening, internet cafe, B&B management, catering services, events planning, and coordination as a family learning to unplug and reconnect offline. Okay, thank you. So I was just asking so that because, you know, it's not a term that I was 100. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. So I would have rather, you know, just been certain. Thank you. Okay. So now everybody experience the value, pain, or um, focus on the pain point, not the pay point. Okay. Keynote speaker. Then number 3, proof. Okay, so tonight I'm just going to give you 3 things. Now, there are many things that can build your offer, but then obviously we'll be here up to next year. So tonight I'm just going to give you 3 things. Number 3 is proof. The Bible says that they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So the blood of the Lamb was not the only thing that they overcame by, and the word of their testimony. What that means is you have to have proof in your offer. Okay? You have to have proof. And you may say, how do I have proof when the business started today? It's very easy to have proof when you already allow people to experience your value without them necessarily paying for it. When I say proof, what is the efficacy of your product? When I say the efficacy, what I'm saying is, what is the perceived or the intrinsic value? When I say intrinsic value or the perceived, what I'm saying is, what can you point to that shows that what you're doing, what you're selling, actually delivers on its promise? All right. Linda says, just like how you're doing now. So that's it. And if you saw in this class, there were a number of people saying, I started doing what you're doing. It works. I started doing that. I did. Right. So what is the proof that you have? And if you don't have proof, you better go and look for it. I'm going to give you an example. How many people have ever seen a video inviting people to church saying that we have a healing service on Sunday? Now, guess what? On that video, what are you going to see? The pastor healing people. Those are not the people that are going to be healed, because you can't post a video that hasn't occurred yet. That's a video from the past. So you can't say come for a healing service and then you show me a pastor sitting in a chair teaching about the book of Ezekiel. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. If you say that there's deliverance night, you can't say there's deliverance night and then you show me a video of, a pastor just saying, God is love. No, he is love. I agree, right? But what we're saying that it's proof, it's the word of your testimony, past results. That's the reason why we learn history. Now, the history that we learn obviously is perverted because every institution brings forth history from their own point of view or how they would want people to view it, right? So what we are saying is that history, what they're basically saying there is that, oh, these things happened in the past. In the present, it looks like 1, 2, 3 is happening. So in the past, it ended up in number 4. Therefore, if we don't do something, we're also going to end up in number 4. That's the idea. So the word of your testimony, how do I know that God is going to do it for me today? It's because he did it yesterday. And how do I know he's going to do it tomorrow? It's because he's done it today. Foundationally, that is what a belief in God is and faith is. I simply know he's going to do it because he's already done it before. That's why your child simply goes to the fridge, doesn't check if you bought groceries or whatnot, doesn't even ask you what's the monthly budget. They just open the fridge and they expect food in there. Why? Because there is proof that there was food before. Okay? I offered free catering services for 2 weddings as a way of marketing and receiving calls from people who want free catering services. You must be called. Oh, you must be called. All right. So now, what is your proof? And if you don't have proof, don't run too far trying to just accumulate people. Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money. That's not the idea. Build a foundation of proof. Now, you can build proof through 2 ways. Okay, there are 2 ways. There's the way where your business is naturally operating, and because it's operating, it's naturally gaining proofs, and then you add that into your offer. What I mean is you actually intentionally communicate that in your offer. But then there is also what I always teach people in my classes, in the private business class and in the How to Be Profitable in Business course, which I call the illusion of demand. All right, which I call the illusion of demand. Now, let me give you this example. Okay, you see me, those that call themselves coaches and the like, you see me here. All right, you see what I'm doing right here. Did you hear me saying, oh, this one is in Guerrero, this one is at the beginning of the class, this one is in Zambia, this one is in, and I was reading what's on the screen, right? You saw that, everybody? Everybody? You saw that? Yeah, at the beginning of the screen, I was saying where you tuned in from, and you were saying, and I was saying, oh, this one is there, this one is there, this one is there. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make is that you think you have to wait to have those people to start saying those things. So if I take that video clip, and then if I post it out there, people will say, oh, you know what? He actually has a lot of people that he teaches from all around, and it's true. But what stops you from hitting record on your device? And then you say, oh, we have people here. Gueru, how are you doing? UK, let's see, that's Dubai. Okay, UAE. Those that are watching all around the world, I appreciate you. Tonight, you're speaking to Coach Abigail. You're just recording a video on your phone. And then when you post it, it seems like a live class, right? So that's what you call the illusion of demand. You are waiting to be qualified by the world, whereby you can literally just do what I did. And then you're like, yeah, Guerrero is in the place and is in the house. You're not lying, because when people are watching it out there, they're watching it and they're also in Guerrero and Dubai and the like. Right? I still remember when I started this thing, when we started this, you would never know. The same person that I am now, I mean, in terms of certain elements, I would say those that are watching all around the world, and I have 3 people listening to me around the world, and it's my 2 cousins and my sister. But then that's what you call the illusion of demand. So that's what builds what proofs. So there is the natural building of proof whereby your business is actually operating like this. And then there is what you call the illusion of demand. So for those that have cleaning businesses, why are you waiting to take photos when you get a client that actually pays you? Just clean your kitchen and then you say today, just another, and then take nice photos, just another day in the field. Then you go tomorrow, you go to the toilet. How do we know that the toilet and the kitchen are in the same house? Then you go to the corridor. Then you go to that little corner in your bedroom. Then tomorrow the other corner. Then because every corner looks different, right? What you're doing, you're taking pictures. Another day, clients coming because of clients, just clients. That's what you call the illusion of demand. What you're doing is you're building proofs. Okay, you're getting it. So your offer then has proofs. Your offer then has proofs. But then you're naturally going to build a lot of proof as well when you actually allow people to experience your value who haven't paid for it. Okay. All right. So we have to move really quickly for the sake of time. Hope you're learning, everybody. This is sales. Okay. This is when you're actually closing a sale. So today we're not necessarily talking about marketing or advertising and all of that. We're actually talking about the actual sales process. Okay. And for those that are, let's say you teach something, you're a coach or the like, and now this is just my personal advice to you. Have a heart for the people, a genuine heart, a genuine heart. Like actually love the people, because a lot of people they do this. It's either they want to be seen or they want to make money, or yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, with wanting to make money and the like. But when your heart actually burns towards someone, when you genuinely love people, you simply want to give them the best. You actually want their life to change. And when you actually want their life to change, there is a higher chance that their life will actually change. It applies to everyone, not just coaches. Like in what you're selling, if you actually love the person who you're selling those lotions to, if you actually love the person who you're selling that house or that car to, I'm telling you, even the way that you speak is different. So actually have a genuine heart for people. All right. You opened your business to provide a solution. So actually be that solution. Okay. A lot of people don't know that when it comes to the classes that I do, I don't have to do them. Now, you may say, what do you mean by that? We already have so many coaches that are taking other classes. The ones that I take, I mean, so many coaches within Beyond Motivation that are taking other classes. The ones that I take, I'm taking them because I'm driven by my calling. Otherwise, the money was not going to be different. If anything, I was going to save my time. I hope you're understanding that, right? Just like on Saturday, we've booked a whole hotel for people that don't know, a hotel conference room, free, and there's a free class that's happening in Harare, free confidence and public speaking class. We literally booked a hotel, paid the PA system, paid the camera guys, everything, every single thing we paid for, and people are simply attending. If there are people here that know what I'm saying, please um, comment in the comment section. Otherwise, again, people will think that I'm lying. So what I'm trying to show you is I'm not even in that country, yet our company is doing it. That's what I'm showing you, that I don't have to take the classes that I take. But guess what? There is something that drives me, which is a genuine love for the people. It doesn't mean that I don't have my own flaws and mistakes. I'm simply teaching you a principle that I use. Okay? Fine. So now you've increased the chances of the person saying yes. However, thank you, Adlin, for confirming. People are going to be like, no, that's the illusion of demand that he started. No, the class is actually there. Suleika says attending. That's it. Okay, fine. So we've increased the chances of someone saying yes. However, they can still say no. All right. So now what I want you to do is, so now that they've said, so we've got different scenarios. Okay. Now you see where it says acting in the best interest of the client, value and offer. You see that box. Well, where I'm highlighting here. I'm just trying to show you what we're talking about here. Right? Are we together? Rita is attending. Yes, thank you very much. So what I'm saying is true. It's not the illusion of demand. Okay. All right. So you see that box that says yes, yes, no, no. Okay. So I'm not going to focus on the two yeses. Why? Because I'm seeing that time will not allow. I'm just going to focus on the no. I'll see if I can focus on. I'll see. I'll see what I can do. Okay. Now, let's assume someone says no. what do you do? Let's assume someone says, you're like, yeah, this, and do you want to buy this and whatnot? And they say, no. What do you do? Someone says, persuade. Nasha says, cry. So the idea is to say, a lot of people you don't have, you move on to the next. I move on to the next person. Now, what you're not understanding is that when someone says no, there is a reason why they say no. And if you don't get to understand the reason why they say no, you won't be able to act in the best interest of the client. Did they say no because of the price? Did they say no because they are busy? Right? Did they say no? Why did they say no, really? Now, the reason why we have two boxes that say product, so let's say they've said no to your first product, you should then have the ability, okay, look further, you should then have the ability to downsell, okay? When I say downsell, it's to say, oh, so you can't do this, all right? But how about if, okay, we'll take out one, two, three. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that it's um, what other businesses do we have? Baking, right? Someone talked about a bakery. So let's just say you say, okay, fine. So I want you to buy the cakes for the wedding. I mean, for your wedding, you got a wedding coming up, and I want to be the one that designs your cake. Okay. Now they then say, no, because I think there's a cousin of mine or someone that's already doing that. Now that's where people lose a lot of sales because they don't have something. Now, if you there's a statement that says reach for the stars, because if you fall, at least you fall on the clouds. So now a lot of people they have the stars, which is your first product, but then they don't have a cloud for people to fall on. Because you can't just say you've invested this whole communication with this person that was showing a level of interest. In fact, that's why you were even having this conversation. But then when you didn't close, you then say, let me move on to the next one. What about the cloud? What is the cloud? Oh, so I can't do your cake. That's fine. But there is actually something which is, it's not the same price, it's much cheaper. But then I've noticed that a lot of people, you buy this cake and a lot of people enjoy it at the wedding. But because you are so busy, people eat the cake, some goes to your parents, some goes to your in-laws' parents, but then you don't actually enjoy your own cake. If anything, you enjoy it, you have a little bit when you come back home after your honeymoon. So what I can do for you is we have what we call a honeymoon package. And it's not the price of a wedding cake. A wedding cake is $100. This one is only $10. It's just something for you and your husband to have on the first day of your honeymoon. And it's like a memorial. You take pictures, you enjoy it. It's for your memories. That's what we call a honeymoon cake. A lot of people don't provide this, but we do because we know that the cake is also special to you, yet it goes to everyone else. So now you have what you call a cloud. When you get a no, what is the cushion? Don't just say it's a no. How do you downsell? So this is your original, all right? Let me bring it here. This is your original. You're here, but when someone falls, what do they fall onto? Because maybe they couldn't do the 100, but they can do the 10. There's no point of getting zero when you've already spoken. But most people know, move on, move on, no, move on. What is your cloud? That is your star, but what is your cloud? So on that box, I want you on the first item where it says no, then it says product, you put your star. And then on the next one, you put your cloud. Are you understanding? I hope people are getting this. Good people, there is too much money that you're losing. And you think you lost because the market doesn't really want what you have. Not necessarily, you just don't have models, right? That's what we do at Beyond Motivation. We build models for businesses. That's why we can literally take your business, rebuild it. It's just messed up in the way that it's structured. Because always remember that people are already buying, they're just not buying from you. So that means that we're not trying to invent something that doesn't exist, but you just don't have the right model that allows for you to get the sales that you're supposed to get. And guess what? The person that then experiences the cloud will one day go for the star because they still experienced you, just at a lower level. Are we getting this, everybody? Good people, information can save you from 50 years of toil. It can save you. You will struggle. Business is hard. It's difficult. I bind the devil from the east, the north. No, just don't have information. All right. I'm not saying the devil doesn't exist, but what I'm saying is that you can't just blame the devil when you didn't study for that test at school and you failed. You didn't say it was the devil. You're like, I should have studied. Same thing. Business is a subject that also needs to be studied. Okay. So you have your star, you have your cloud. My October people, are you hearing me? Tendai says binding and casting. All right, those that are attending the How to Be Profitable in Business course in October and the mentorship class, are you hearing me? Tonight says, yes, we're hearing and ready for October. Okay. So this session was very important for me because I just wanted to give you way more before you start. And then obviously other people you get to benefit as well. Brian says, yes, Wangile Grace. Okay, amazing. Okay. So like I said, I kind of compressed some of the stuff. So yes, let's hear some of your questions and I'll answer to some of them. And as I answer one person's question, I'm also answering everybody else. Okay. So we'll take a few questions and then we will be done. But like I said, all right, can prove be a WhatsApp group where you're giving free value. And now I want to do a paid masterclass. I would say not exactly because let me explain. In as much as there is some free value that's there, yes, there is. But then the thing is, when you provide value, you have to show that that value is also costing you. All right. You have to show that that value is costing you. Let me give you an example. Two people can buy their wives a car that costs $5,000. One is a multimillionaire, the other one only earns a few thousands every month. Both of them bought the same thing, but then guess what? The one that is the husband that is praised more is the one who earns little. So what I mean is you can give someone something, but then if they don't see that you also made an effort to do it, then they don't really perceive it as value as well. So the WhatsApp group, yes, it is good to have that. I'm not saying don't have that 100%, but I'm just saying that let's also strive to give more value. Okay. Hope you're getting me. So don't cancel out the WhatsApp group. Very good. Okay. Pandra says, how much is that course? I mean, the business class. How do you differentiate value and profit? Okay. All right. So I'm going to answer to Dr. Robert, and then I'll answer to you, Pandra. Okay. If anyone has another question, so I've answered to one question so far. Okay. How do you differentiate between differentiate value and profit? So you see that your profit should be way lower than your value because your profit is a result of cost minus expense. But your value is a result of the gap between your worth and your cost. And as I said, your worth should be at least 10 times higher than your cost. So if I'm going to provide a lesson to you for $100, I should expect you to be able to generate at the very least 1,000 from the information that I'm going to give you. So that means that your profit is already way, way, way lower than your value. Because the business, you should give more than you get. That's the idea. Right? Hope you've understood that. Because profit is what? Sales minus cost. All right. Pandora says, how much is that course? I mean, Business course. Repeat that again, Fen. All I'm saying is, don't worry too much about the profit, because the profit is still a result of cost of sales minus cost. Okay, the the sales is, I mean, the profit is still a result of sales minus cost. You're already using metrics that are way lower than your value. Okay, so don't expect profit to be equal to value. It can't be equal to value. It has to be way lower than value. Because if your sales are already lower than value, then that means your profit will be even lower because your profit is already below your sales. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So I'm saying, don't worry about that profit figure for now. Okay. All right. Uh, how to make the customer come back for another sale. So remember, for those that I taught how to make $10,000 a month, you create your business. It has the house, it has the door, it has the rooms, it has the presidential suite. I don't know specifically if you were there, but that's how you make people come back for another sale. Okay, so you see that most people in Beyond Motivation, they move from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. It's very easy when you create your business with a $10,000 a month structure that I gave some people that are here. For those that were here, please do confirm. When we did the private business class at the Seven Arts, that was physical when I was there. So that's how you actually make people come back for more. Okay. Pandora. I mean the business course, right? Uh, so with a number of business courses and services that we provide, what was the rule that I gave people last time? I said, please, you may see it on the catalog, but number one, don't book for a one-on-one. Okay, don't book for a one-on-one. It's there, but I would rather have you not book for a one-on-one right now, not because it's not important, not because it doesn't help you, but at this point, it's not the thing that helps you the most. Okay, it's not the thing that helps you the most. What I mean by this is, yeah, you can have a one-on-one with me for 40 minutes, pay $300, fair and fine. But then a lot of you haven't understood my business teaching well enough for us to get into the one-on-one. So you will benefit, but then it's not the best thing as you position yourself. The best thing as you position yourself right now is what I told people in the last business class, public business class that I did, which is the How to Be Profitable in Business course, where I take you for 6 weeks. Okay? The How to Be Profitable in Business course is $250. Okay? But there's some people here that I provided a discount, correct? And how much did I say to you guys? For those that were here? How much did I allow you to pay? The people that are starting in October. So I gave you how to be profitable in business, and I gave you, Tinashe says 150. Okay. So yes. So I said 150, which was, I said instead of paying 250, you can pay 150. And I'll put you in the how to be profitable in business course for 6 months, and I'll give you put you in the mentorship class for 2 months for free. That's 150. That's what we said. Right. And I think people already booked for that, right? Though I did hear that there are some people that took those positions and then just disappeared, which wasn't nice, because remember I said I'm only going to take 50 people for that, and other people were not able to give them that opportunity, and then the people disappear yet having taken other people's opportunities, which wasn't good. Okay. I need that one after that. You help me start my business. Liberty will be the marketing manager. Will you be able to pay me, Vimbai? So Vimbai, what I want you to do, all right, I'll extend that again. So the people that want to do the How to Be Profitable in Business course, and as I said, every registration has to be in September for October. You can do the How to Be Profitable in Business course plus 2 months mentorship for free. And I think you got a ticket as well for those in Zimbabwe, free ticket to my live event where I'm coming to on that 150. So you can pay 150 for that. Okay. And then for the people, and then yes, Rita says 75. And then I then said, for the people that maybe 150 is just so out of reach for you, though it shouldn't be, you can pay 75 and still do the How to Be Profitable in Business course with myself. That's a 6 weeks course, which allows you to structure your business, how to actually position your business, your services, your products, how to price it. how to start to get customers, how to get people to come into your business, and all of that. It basically just builds your business, even whether you have one or you don't. Rain says, I got my ticket. Very good. Wonderful. Yeah. All right. Hope that's answered. How many people here are joining in October? Because I think I had said 50. For the people paying 150, I said I'll only take 50 people because I'll be mentoring you directly, telling you what to do in your business, not just the course, but that added. And then there were supposed to be 50, and then some people just started acting funny as I do here. So, okay, we have Jeanette that's joining. All right. How many people here are joining the How to Be Profitable? The How to Be Profitable, whether you're joining How to Be Profitable and the 2 months mentorship or just the How to Be Profitable. Either way, let me know so that I want to see if I taught the right people. Okay. All right, I see a few hands. Okay. Fine. And how many people here did not get that opportunity? Maybe you didn't attend the last class. And for those that are wondering, oh, there's some stuff that he was referring to that was in the last class. If you want, just get the recording from, I think the recording is still up. You can still go back there and see how to make 1,000 per month. Okay. So people have joined. Okay. Joining. What is the difference between How to Be Profitable and mentoring? So the How to Be Profitable in Business course, that's a course. I teach you how to build a business exactly. If you already have one, you start to tweak your business and structure it to actually be profitable, right? Then the mentorship class, that's me mentoring you. So now you can actually say, okay, fine. So I'm doing this in my business and whatnot. And then I say, no, don't do this. It's rubbish. And it's not just business alone, because there are a lot of elements that actually make up a person to be able to do what we do. It's not just business prowess. Understand that. So there's actually a type of person that you have to be. Understand it's easy to make 20,000. It's difficult to be the person that can make 20,000. Very big difference. All right, so the mentorship class goes beyond the business teaching. Okay. All right. So do we have new people that want to join the How to Be Profitable and the mentorship class, or the How to Be Profitable alone? Let me know. Do we have new people that want to join, the people that are attending in October, How to Be Profitable in Business? Okay, so it's people that want to join. All right. So I don't know how many positions we have left for, I don't know how many positions we have left for the mentorship class. We were not supposed to have any positions left, but like I said, and as I always say, please don't book for things if you're not going to take them. It's unfair, to say the least. Now you may say it's unfair. How? It's unfair because Alpha says he wants to join, as an example, and then he doesn't join. But guess what? I'd already told Andrea that he can't join. Right. And when I say I mean our team, but you get the language. Fine. So I don't know how many positions we have left. When you're responded to, you would then know, oh, okay, I can join this. For the people, maybe, I don't know. If I'm to guess, maybe it's like 20, maybe. I don't know. That's a guess. If you want to join the How to Be Profitable in Business course and the 2 months free mentorship and get the free ticket for the greatest event of the year 2025 for those in Zimbabwe, where I'm coming to Zimbabwe. Okay, you can send a message to our team. And as I always say, send it in the night. It helps us with our admin in the morning. So send a message to our team and say you want to join October. You've received a discount from TLM, because right now we don't have admin in this class, because it's one of the smaller classes. So you just say I want to join, paying 150. If you have the money, just pay right away. If you're paying in September, not October, if you're paying in September, you then say, I will pay on 27 September. I will pay on 28. But if you do this thing where you book and then you don't pay and you've shut out the chance for another person, please, that is not nice. And then let me also say, if you don't intend on being serious, then please don't send a message. There is no point of you just, putting out your money towards Beyond Motivation. And then you're not serious. You don't care about business, starting a business or growing your business. You may say, no, I'm serious. No, when I say serious, I mean you're actually committed. You're actually doing your best to do the things that we're saying. And when you're facing a challenge, you speak out, right? Why do I say this? I say this because I've always taught people that not all money in business is good money. So there is no point of me taking your money, you go and play around, you then say that you were mentored by the Liberty Man. I lose my brand because we got $150. Doesn't help us in any way. It doesn't mean that if you're mentored by you're mentored by me, things will happen in a second. But if you already know I'm not even going to do anything, then please, it's better that you don't join the course. Just do your public business classes like you've done right now. Find somewhere to just spend the time in the evening, then everyone is happy. Okay. So, but if you are serious, then you can send a message and you can pay. So you can actually you send a message not in the group that you are registered to. You send a message to the number that registered you, the Beyond Motivation number, and you send it tonight so that we can count our positions. And then if you're not taking the 150 and you want to do the How to Be Profitable in Business course, you can still do it for 75 instead of 250. And as I said, there are people here that have already given a discount in another course. That, and I say that this discount that I'm giving you, that's your last one. Understood? Is that clear? Is there anything that's not clear? Is there anything that's not clear? Remember, you ought to be serious. Serious just means, yeah, I'm actually going to do my best to do what needs to be done. So what you do is you just send a message to our team. Okay. Spinelli says, is there a class in October on how to make sales? So what you can do, what I would encourage you to do is you can pay for the mentorship class, because I'm not going to do the sales course, but I'm going to do the sales course as part of the mentorship class. I hope you get what I mean. So I'm not going to do it individually. So the people in the mentorship class, I'm going to give them the sales course as well, which is like $200 and something. That's what I plan on doing, because what I want is over the next 3 months, we build our team, and then we'll be strong. All right, understood? So the people in the mentorship class, we're still going to do the sales training, which is in the How to Make Sales and Win course. That course is $200. You're not paying for the mentorship class. You're not paying, because remember, I have a target this year of getting at least 5,000 people to start making $1,000 per month. We are in the thousands. We're not at 5,000. Okay. Would there be a recording for this class put up as well? Missed the first bit. Yes, you will receive the recording, because we want you to go back to it, perfect your business, okay, and do what you need to do. So you will receive the recording tonight, if not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, realistically speaking. Okay. Happy, everybody? What I'm going to tell you as I finish off, now this is not some motivational speech for you to pay us, but if you're so afraid of spending money towards information, then you're likely going to struggle to succeed. I won't say you won't succeed, no, because things happen, but you're likely going to struggle to succeed, especially when it comes to business and anything really, right? If you're hesitant to spend $75 or $150, or even the original price, which is $250 plus mentorship, which was going to be about $300 or $400. If you're hesitant to spend money, then you're probably not ready for business, because every seed has to be put in the ground so as to germinate. And when I say seed, I'm not saying seed into my life, right? Because if you pay for the class, you still haven't paid for what I did for you today. I hope you understand that. And another thing is, when you pay for courses and the like, please understand this, everybody. You do not own me. No. If you're used to poor teachers that you own, that's on you. You don't own me, because I'm already giving you 20, 50 times more than you paid for. I'm saying this in all humility to say you don't own me. So don't get upset. Why didn't you answer my question? Look, I'm already here doing the best I can do for you. I'm not even supposed to be here. So these are just disclaimers. I love you, but I'm a person. Okay, I'm not just something like, why didn't you answer this? Why didn't? No, guys, let's do the best we can to build each other. All right. Indeed, being afraid to learn from someone's mistakes at a fee, you actually lose way, way more making mistakes. That's it. A lot of people buy stock that no one will ever buy because you don't know how to sell it. You might as well invest that money in information. Okay. So as we close, everybody, the recording will be sent probably tomorrow. For those that want to join the mentorship class and the how to be profitable at 150 instead of 250 plus, you can send a message tonight. I think we have 20 positions left, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. So if you don't get the chance to join, don't be disappointed. 20 is the figure that I think. The good thing is that we have a small number here, so we should be able to achieve that. And then the people that want to join the How to Be Profitable, 75. This is the October class, which will run a little bit into November. And then, of course, we see each other in December for those in Zimbabwe. For those that are in Botswana, South Africa, we're coming to your nations very soon. I think South Africa is April 2026. Botswana is still on the cards, seeing the dates exactly. Other than that, everybody, I appreciate you. And I pray that the grace of God may be with you, that in as much as we learn these principles, may grace accelerate your progress. We are not here because we understood models and all of that, in as much as they are good, because the Bible says, study to show thyself approved, a man not to be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. But we're not here because of that. We're here because there is grace that God provided to us. That's the idea. There is a God in heaven who also dwells in you, for those that are Christians. And that God provides grace. He gives you power to obtain wealth. So never negate, don't think that this eliminates spiritual law. It doesn't eliminate spiritual law. Spiritual law actually requires you to have information. That's why the Bible says that be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed through the renewing of your mind. So it is the spirit that is actually demanding that your soul be nourished. So yes, get the information, but I pray that grace may be given to you, that your family may not lack, that you may not lack, that even as we see each other in October, right, you may have a certain ability to catch quickly the things that I'm saying, put them into use. And beyond that, even where you fail, may grace cover you. Because I have failed many times. I think this is going to happen, doesn't happen that way, but then grace caught me. Okay? So what I'm saying is I pray for the same grace that operates at the Liberty Center, at Land of Liberty, in the Liberty family. I pray for the same grace that operates in Beyond Motivation to operate in your business as well. But it can only operate if you acknowledge the giver of that grace. Do not separate your business from your faith. Doesn't make sense. When the Lord Jesus Christ is Lord over your life, is Lord over every single thing that you have. All right? So don't do some funny things because you're saying, yeah, it's just to make money. No, you can't ask God for grace to do what is against his mandate. All right? So I encourage you right now that even as grace is given to you, I encourage you to think of other people as well. There are people here that will never join our courses. Fine, but guess what? They can make a whole lot of money based on what I gave them today. All right? So love the people, have a genuine love for the people. They will betray you. They will speak negatively about you. There are people that lie about me like every single day. Every single day. Every single day. But guess what? The mandate is simple to change lives. And I pray right now that grace may abound in your homes. So everybody, I will see you in our various courses. I know that a lot of you are already part of our students in different, classes, but I'll see you also in October for the How to Be Profitable and the mentorship class, or the How to Be Profitable alone. As I say, just send a message to our team and they will assist you. If you send it tonight, it'll be beneficial. It allows us to run our admin more smoothly. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. And remember, we don't do this to earn a living. We do this because it's why we live it. Let's go beyond motivation. God bless everybody.